Welcome to Bear's Tech Talk and DIY. Today I will be doing a tutorial on the video game Golftopia. There will be some overlap from my review video, so please ensure you check that out. So let's get started. When you start a new game, the first screen you will be presented with is the map generation screen. The screen will allow you to quickly select your desired options and generate your terrain based on the options you select. I will briefly go over some of the options on map generation. Play around with the sliders to get your desired look, or create a clean, empty map and build your foundation from the ground up. Roundness does not only affect the edges of your map, but also when combined with other elements such as water and various other elements can give you some fairly unique mapping terrain. So here's where you can adjust your grass coverage on your map. You can fine tune your grass coverage within game. Grass is also affected by temperature, which I'll go over within the temperature section. Trees are about the same as grass. The higher the value, the more coverage you have. You can also plant trees within game as well. Your trees are also affected by temperature, which I'll discuss in the temperature section of the video. Temperature will affect the lushness of the grass and how green or how dry the grass is, as well as within the trees. It will affect the types of trees that you have on your map, whether it be deciduous trees or palm trees. You can also manually place your desired nature items regardless of temperature. Please see the section towards the end of this video. Rocks are similar to the trees and grass. The higher the value, the more coverage you have. Just like with trees, rocks and rock formations can be manually generated within game as well. Water can be generated manually or during the map generation screen. I found combining multiple elements within the map generation screen, you can get a lot more unique effects or looks to your map. The adjustments on hills within your map generation can create some fairly unique landscapes. Unfortunately, within the preview of the map generation screen, it's really hard to see the effect that they actually create until you're actually fully in the game. Play around with these to your liking. Mountains are probably one of the most difficult to do manually, so I would recommend spending a little extra time to design within the map generation screen the mountain effects that you want on your terrain, as this will save you a lot of time within the game. This concludes the end of the map generation section of this tutorial. I will be starting a new map and continuing the in-game sections of the tutorial. The gameplay settings presented as soon as you start a game can be changed at any point during the game. Economic difficulty affects how much you get paid out for each golfer that completes a hole. Happy golfers contribute to your weed growth and spread. This affects how much that contributes to the weed growth. This affects how likely it is for members to upgrade their membership. This is required for unlocking many of the prestige items. These next two are pretty self-explanatory. It'll cost you money to change the ground or terrain types. Make sure you have a good income if you set these options to on. Always daytime lights are not needed on your course. This could potentially affect your whole ranking. Always nighttime, you will need lights throughout your entire course. Nature lovers increases the golfer's mood when you have nature elements such as trees, etc. on your course. It's a good option to have on to keep golfers happy. Let it snow is a visual effect that does not affect gameplay. Although it says it may affect performance, I did not notice such issues. Sure, golfers will remove all safety zones. Basically, this will increase the chance of other golfers being hit by golf balls, and will also speed up your player's playthrough. Be careful with hyperweeds, especially on higher levels. If you do not have enough automated defenses, this can go out of control really quickly. Nightmare golf, basically piss off your golfers as much as possible to improve on your course and upgrading. Placing your clubhouse, you can either find a fairly flat place within one of your areas, or you can start terraforming before placing. For this course, I decided to create an island for my clubhouse, as I wanted to do something a bit different for this particular course. I will go through the various terraforming options throughout this video in more detail. Golfers get annoyed by distance, so ensure you have a proper transport system between your buildings and your different holes. Removing objects is as easy as clicking on the option and clicking on the bomb icon if objects are in the way of where you plan on designing your golf hole or structure. Softening the terrain will reduce some of the sharp angles within the land on your course. Berries and greens are an important part of your course. This will help keep your golfers happy. Although if you're playing nightmare golf, you may want to limit the amount to keep your golfers as unhappy as possible. Planting trees along your hole can act as a barrier for your hole, as well as if you have nature lovers turned on, will help improve the mood of your golfers. Having a proper balance of various elements, including crazy devices, will affect the rating of each of your golf holes. The golfers' moods will be improved by having decorations throughout your golf course. They do enjoy a beautiful golf course. In addition, walkways will improve their mood as they walk through it. It is a good idea to place decorations in places where golfers will spend a lot of time, such as around your fairways and greens. Golf testing each of your holes is a good way to find areas that could need improvement. You also want to keep an eye on how many people forfeit during golf testing. If your numbers are too high on forfeit, you may want to make some changes to your course in addition. You can test on different skill levels from low, medium, and high. Just hover your mouse over the golf testing button to see the controls for testing on the different levels. The par is set automatically for each of your holes, but you can go into your main hole settings and edit the par if required. You can hover over each of the sections within the clubhouse to see the requirements for upgrading your clubhouse. Each unlock will unlock various prestige items that you can build and place around your course. Golfers' moods are improved by walking over these footbridges. So I put a footbridge instead of a transport tube for when the golfers exit the course. It's also a good idea to put like your food, drink, restroom, and garbage close to your exit, as it will top up your golfers' moods before they exit. Bronze clubhouse upgrade will unlock cover rentals, which will be one of your golfers' main modes of transportation. For this hole, I'm creating a long-range golf teleporter. Before you can create the teleporter, you need to have your tee and your holes placed. Start closest to your tee and create a golf checkpoint. Once you created your golf checkpoint, you need to go to your destination and select the golf checkpoint tele-exit in your desired location and the correct exit direction that you wish. And then whatever devices and decorations that you want to place as well. Congestion can be caused by a number of factors. It can be either the hole is way too difficult, your previous hole may be too easy. You can adjust your wait times on previous holes to reduce congestion. Skill boosters and a number of other items can be changed. For this hole, there were multiple issues. One, the terrain was too steep, causing delays to complete the course. The second issue was the hole prior to it was too easy, so golfers were finishing the course too quickly, causing congestion on the fourth hole. I started with increasing wait time on hole number 3 and decreasing wait time on hole number 4. Adding boosters had little effect in this case, so I ended up extending course number 3 and making it more difficult, which in turn reduced wait times on hole number 4. So at this point of filming, I hadn't played with some of the more fine adjustments of some of the terraforming tools available. This would have actually improved developing and designing my cores had I played with them earlier. I will have a section at the end of the video on some of these more precise tools that are available within game. These stone archways can be used as part of your golf paths. These can be created through either the map generation screen randomly, or with some of the more precise editing tools you can manually create these, which I have included in some of the advanced terrain editing at the end of the video. Once you start upgrading past silver, you can start having more weed infestations, so you probably want to upgrade your defenses before you start upgrading to gold and platinum. The driving range and putting green will help your golfers improve their skills, so it's definitely a good idea to place them in high traffic areas where your golfers will use these ranges. If you place them in low traffic areas, it might take your golfers a lot longer to upgrade their golfing skills. The driving range you don't want too difficult or too easy. Too easy, your golfers won't develop the skills that they need. If you have it too hard, then your moods will be affected quite significantly. So you may need to adjust it a few times to get the desired outcome. Increasing the difficulty on the putting green is a little more challenging because of the lack of space to work with. You can use any of your ground types to increase the difficulty, like sand traps, mud. The 9th hole is the next requirement for a membership upgrade. When building over water, you want to make sure you're not doing too far of a distance that golfers can't reach. You can compensate for some of this by using boosters and fans. However, if it's too steep, your golfers won't be able to complete the course. You'll also require transport tubes, obviously, for your players to be able to reach these areas. It is also recommended to do golf testing to determine weaknesses in your course. And as you can see, this last section of land was a little too far for my golfers to reach. In testing with different fans and boosters, found the distance between the two sections of land were too far apart, so I adjusted the terrain to reduce that distance. There are 5 orbital powers within the game. Extraction will zap money out of the player's pockets. The resupply will restock any building that has an ammo or supply gauge. The subliminal skill injection will improve the golfer's skills for 10 seconds. This can be useful in temporarily reducing wait times, improving golfers' moods. You also want to ensure that you're not using this on golfers that are waiting in queue. The Happy Beam is one of the more useful orbital powers. This improves all your players' moods within range, which is required for membership upgrades as well as upgrades to your clubhouse. And Weed the Bomb is, well, pretty self-explanatory. It helps remove existing weeds on your course. To match the height of surrounding terrain, press and hold the left Alt key and then left click on a surrounding piece of terrain. .2 is the lowest height you can go before you start generating water. You can quickly select this by clicking on the Set Buildable Height button within the Flatten Terrain section. Anything 4.1 and lower will be generating water. By turning nature displacement off in your terrain tools, any terrain that has nature on it will not be able to be adjusted, leaving your terrain intact. By turning nature displacement on, all nature on the tiles you are adjusting will be removed. Be careful when terraforming around buildings. If you have structure displacement on, this will remove any buildings that you terraform around. By turning structure displacement off, this will leave your buildings intact. If you're creating water, this is also an easy way to put your building on an island. You can adjust the look of your landscape by adjusting the temperature during painting. When painting, make sure to adjust your displacement options if you don't want to paint over certain landscapes, such as your golfing greens and fairways. Under the nature setting, the boulder holes will allow you to quickly place various types of rocks. The types of rocks placed are randomized. Under the nature section, you can select seed foliage, which will randomly place different types of trees and bushes. You can turn off bushes to only generate trees. You can turn off trees to only generate bushes, or leave both options to randomize between trees and bushes. When placing individual items such as bushes, trees, and rocks, you will see there is a change type button. This will change the style of nature item that you are placing. I will show all three sections and the different types of nature items that can be placed under each category. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to click the like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.